Okay, good morning, and welcome to the Hawaii State Ethics Commission meeting. Today is November 15th, and the time is now 9:05. Just a couple of administrative announcements before we have the introductions and quorum. If you have any cell phones, please turn them off. And if you need to be recognized, please raise your hand so we can see you, so I can recognize you. And now, we'll have a roll call and indicate if you are alone. Robert?
Starting with the commissioners, starting with Commissioner Tobias, can you hear us? Recognizing Commissioner Tobias is present via video, however, is having audio issues. Shifting to Commissioner Hong.
Present and alone.
And Commissioner McCarthy is excused. And recognizing Commissioner Thielen and Chair Fong are both in the public hearing room, and myself included. Moving to staff.
Did you say me, Robert?
Yeah, Key, go ahead.
Present and alone.
Benita.
Present and alone.
Miles. We'll circle back to Miles. Nancy.
Present and alone.
Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
Patrick.
Present and alone.
Jody.
Present and alone.
Jared.
Present and alone.
And would any member of the public wish to introduce himself?
My name is Vanessa Ott. I signed up for testimony.
Great. I think we have you set for agenda item number 4.
Yes.
Thank you. And recognizing that both Blaze Lavelle and Chad Blair are also logged in.
Okay. Thank you very much, and again, welcome. First of all, for Commissioner Tobias, maybe the recommendation, I don't know how you can get to her, maybe she can call in, but she does have video, visual, I should say. Maybe you can call in at least, maybe so she can participate. I don't know, Pat can do that maybe?
I think Patrick's trying to work on it.
Okay, great. All right, first thing on the agenda, number 1, approval of the minutes of October 18th, 2023. Are there any corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion that we approve the minutes of October 18th, 2023.
I still move.
Moved by Commissioner Thielen,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Hong. Any discussion? All in favor, roll call.
Starting, just in case you can hear us, Commissioner Tobias. Recognizing we still having audio issues, Commissioner Hong.
Aye.
And as Commissioner McCarthy joined us. Commissioner Thielen.
Aye.
Madam Chair.
I vote aye. Motion, no objections, motion's carried. Item number 2, consideration of the director's report.
Sorry, I think you have.
I'm sorry, minutes of the October 18, 2023 executive session meeting. Any corrections by the commissioners? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the executive session meeting on October 18, 2023.
I still move.
Moved by
Second.
Commissioner Thielen, seconded by Commissioner Hong. Any discussion? All in favor, roll call.
Again, starting with Commissioner Tobias.
Mm.
Recognizing we're still having audio issues, Commissioner Hong,
Aye.
Commissioner Thielen,
Aye.
Commissioner Fong.
And chair votes aye, no objections, motion's carried. Okay, now to item number 3, director's report. Robert?
I can turn over item number 1 to Benita.
Morning, Commissioners. This is a report on the training program. As part of our targeted outreach, letters to several agencies and about 19 boards were sent on November 1st. The targeted boards are listed in your materials, along with the updated information based on our training records as of November 8th. We've also contacted 60 plus officials who still need to take the live session. Almost all have signed up for a session, including one that's scheduled for tomorrow. We've also reached out to the governor's office, and Governor Green has graciously agreed to make an announcement at the next cabinet meeting of all department heads within the executive branch. And finally, on Monday, we also pushed out our general reminders to all agency and board contacts as part of our monthly reminders. And as a result of all these efforts, we've already seen a significant increase in just the last month. I think over the last month, we've logged about 1,000 plus new training certificates, including a sizable chunk from DOE, UH, RCUH, DOT, and DAGs. This is largely due to the hard work of the entire office, especially the administrative staff. So I'd like to extend a great appreciation to the whole office and the staff. I also like to note that there was recent media coverage, which was very effective in highlighting our training programs and reminding state employees and the public about the new mandate. As we indicated and emphasized in the previous discussions, our priority right now is to get as many people through between now and December 31st. So that's really our focus in the training program, and also developing the lobbyist training module, which is a new requirement. If the commissioners have any questions, I'll be glad to answer it.
No, first, I want to congratulate you and also the staff for doing this. I said before, our mantra for our commission is twofold. Number one, training, and the second of enforcement. So doing a great job. And just for your information, we did send out a letter to those departments were a little lacking in regards to participation. So again, thank you. Any comments from first of all, from the commissioners?
I'm delighted to see the increase in participation. Thank you. Thank you for all the work.
Commissioner Hong, anything? Okay. If not, anything from the public? No? Okay. You want to continue, Robert?
Sure, if I could turn over to Keith for section 2.
Sure. So basically, you can see we continue to get a healthy amount of complaints and we continue to close them out at a good pace. Additionally, as you can see under the new assignment section, we are getting some requests for advisory opinions. So there will be likely some advisory opinions coming down the road.
Good. Any questions? Thank you. Any questions from the commissioners? From the public? Okay, moving right along.
So with regards to number 3, just briefly, we are on pace to move back into our office starting on Friday. We're doing the walkthrough today. We will have furniture moved on Friday with sort of the rest of things being moved back on Monday. So no unforeseen surprises. Our next commission meeting will be back in our normal office and our normal hearing room, and we all look forward to that happening soon. I want to, again, congratulate all of the staff, especially again, the administrative staff, for having navigated, I think, a fairly high number of logistics to make sure that we continue operating smoothly in this temporary location that we're in right now. Secondly, I'd just like to highlight one of the things the commissioners had raised is the idea of trying to be more focused on public outreach. I did have an opportunity to spend a Saturday morning with EPA's executive, managerial, and confidential employees going over ethics in general and sort of answering questions that they have. These are sort of, my words, not theirs, but, relatively highly placed public officials. And I think it was, predominantly in a managerial capacity. So it's a good opportunity to have this discussion with them and interact with them. So we'll continue to look for opportunities like that, which, sort of allow us to continue to outreach, really focusing on our focus on training, enforcement advice, but in addition, sort of letting the public know what we're doing in order to ensure confidence in our public government. Finally, another thing that we've done, which has been an annual course, that we did just send out a reminder to all agencies about Christmas gift notices, Christmas gift, traditional, baskets, gift cards, and sort of reminding them of what the gift rules are and encouraging them to reach out to us if they have any questions. That's all I have for that portion.
Thank you. Good job. One question I have, because of our training, is there any way of tracking whether or not it's making an impact on our state employees? In other words, should the complaints go up or the complaints go down?
We can probably do it on an annual basis. And that might be interesting to observe. We saw a significant number of trainings starting last year, going into this year, and then, presumably, if it's going to have a corollary effect, we might see a reduction in the number of complaints going into next year. That being said, I think staff is consistently maintaining that we may still see a high level number of complaints as trainings happen because people are not aware of problems and they're going to raise them and address them, which isn't bad thing, right? I don't think we do training to reduce the amount of complaints we receive necessarily, but rather to encourage more ethical behavior.
Good. Questions by the commissioners? Okay, how about any comments or questions by the public? Okay, if not, thank you very much, Robert. Moving on to item number 4, I believe, is that right?
Yes, Chair, we had proposed putting this in, and we can try it for a few months to see how it works as a potential standing item in the agenda, just to give us an opportunity to address any recent media articles that have been in the media's opportunity to talk about what's being said regarding ethics in general or the Hawaii State Ethics Commission. And I think it's in part to recognize that there are some media sources that have been doing a really good job of covering accountability, good governance, and through general sunshine topics. And so, again, I think having the flexibility to talk about them, I think, is helpful. We did check with OIP, and they did indicate this type of standing item is fine. And again, I think maybe if it's okay, we'll try it for a couple months and see how it's working. Just doing a quick review. For example, in the civil deed, we have in the past month an article on stepping up training of government. There is a op-ed talking about Hawaii should look to other states as far as its expertise, who sits on the commission, and looking at sort of different enforcement processes. There's an article about the Hawaii Budget Director's conflict of interest in the ownership of ECO, and then there's an article about the nepotism law. So again, a number of interesting topics, and I guess I sort of wanted to invite if the commissioners want to address or bring up any of these, this is an opportunity to do so. In addition, I do just want to quickly flag with regards to Hawaiian Electric and the Maui wildfires, we did send out an alert to all deputy directors, members of executive branch and legislators, just reminding them because the Maui wildfires are likely to be a substantive topic that where they may not have had a conflict of interest previously with an ownership or an interest in any of the utilities or the property in that area, if they are dealing with a wildfire issue, they may have a conflict of interest and they should recuse themselves with that and sort of gave them the option to the person to reach out to us. And that notice, I think, was well received. We got some feedback on.
Okay, good. Before I ask for any comments, I actually want to thank the media for actually telling the public that hopefully, or showing the public that our commission is doing our job, if not more than is expected. So I want to thank the media. In regards to this particular item, I know we do have, well, first of all, any questions by the commissioners for Robert? If not, we do have testimony, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, from the public. So now's the opportunity for any member of the public who'd like to testify. Now, I know I have I think it's a 4-page testimony by Vanessa Ott. Ms. Ott, would you like to speak on this matter?
Yes, thank you. I had written testimony on Civil Beat's article about the nepotism prohibition exceptions rulings made by the commission recently. And I wanted to ask that the commission will consider what I've written in the testimony and revise two of the rulings it has made based on some information that I provided in the testimony. I'm also hoping that the commission will act quickly for a couple reasons. One is if employees or managers are going to have to get a different job due to the new law, they need to start planning, and these things are not done very quickly. And for their consideration, I think it would help if it goes quickly. And also the state seems to be scratching its head about how it's going to comply with the new law. And there's a lot of things to figure out in these formative years, and I'm hoping that these two rulings don't set a bad precedent and that they are allowed to linger much longer. So in closing, though, I would like to say that I'd like to commend Robert D. Harris, Executive Director, for the rulings that he issued on nepotism. I felt like they were really right on and had a good sense of the purpose of the new law. And I'm hoping that the commission will use those as a model in the future for making nepotism exception decisions. Thank you.
Thank you. And may I thank you for your concern. Let me thank you on behalf of the commission for your interest and also your concern about nepotism. This is a new field that we just initiated.
Thank you.
So I do have your testimony. I will share it with the other commissioners. We'll take it under advisement and see how it would affect regards to past cases and future cases. But I do want to thank you because it's very rewarding that we know we have public that is interested and also concerned about what we're doing. And hopefully we're doing a job that we're getting paid for. That was a joke. Any other member of the public like to testify? Okay, if not, let's move on.
Chair, we have 5 bills that are drafts. We wanted to submit it for your consideration. We will also have another meeting in December.
What is it down there?
That's me, but I'm not.
Patrick, do you mind putting people on unless that's Commissioner Tobias, putting them on mute? We will have another meeting in December where we potentially can consider additional bills or any proposed revisions to these bills. But again, just if you don't mind, we would just take a few minutes just to quickly summarize the bill and then any questions or input that you have. And if they are acceptable, we would ask for a motion to support them and be a part of our package.
Why don't we do this to make it easier? Go through each bill. I'll ask if there are any commissioners that have any questions or the public has any questions or concerns. And they're not, we go to the next one and always another the 5th one.
Okay.
And if there are no objections to any of them, then I'll ask for a motion to approve all 5 of them.
That sounds great.
All right, go ahead.
So I also want to recognize that there are a number of staff who help work on these individual bills. Well, there are questions.
Here, hold it.
There's an event for the office. So we do have the first bill raising the maximum allowed administrative fines. This is something that the commission's actually already considered. So I'm hoping it's not one that will require a lot of discussion. We've previously done an examination of other states and found that Hawaii was very much on the low spectrum as far as potential fines that could be imposed. And so this sort of tries to go to the national average approximately of $5,000 as a maximum fine. And essentially does it for both the lobbying and the state ethics side of.
Any questions from the commissioners? Any questions from the public? Next.
So the next bill is essentially an attempt to modernize the advice and investigation procedures that we have. we have gotten some questions and maybe some ambiguity, and so the attempt is to try to address some of those issues. Perhaps one thing in particular I'd flag is it does propose to allow the commission to self-initiate an advisory opinion. So if we see a consistent question coming in, like for example, on our attorney of the day, it would allow us potentially to write an advisory opinion addressing that question in a public, transparent way where everyone can then see it going forward and we can point them to that. So the idea is I think it gives us a bit more flexibility in addressing issues, and it's actually something I think would really help us. So.
Okay, thank you. Questions from the commissioners? Concerns? Comments? How about from the public? Okay, if not, next.
The third bill is a bit more substantive. This bill was in response to something that was heard by the legislature last year, which proposed to expand the definition of lobbying, to expand certain interactions with the executive branch. We recognize this is a straw proposal that we're putting out there that I think we will need to do a fair amount of consultation with other agencies to get input and what pragmatic effect it's going to have. It does include certain administrative actions, so interactions with high-level deputy directors, high-level executive branch members with regard to the appointment or the hiring of a particular individual, procurement situations, and ex parte communications that aren't otherwise controlled by some other Administrative Procedure Act or otherwise. So it's trying to capture a certain subset of activities that may go on, but we're also trying not to step into normal day-to-day interactions that most people would not consider lobbying. If you don't mind, E, is there anything else you'd like to add with regards to this proposal?
No, I think that's spot on. I mean, a lot of what agencies do has changed and broadened away from formal rulemaking. So like Robert said, this is an attempt to capture some of that without being overly broad.
Good. Questions by the commissioners? Any questions or comments by the public? Next.
May I just go back?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
You're saying that this one maybe require more, I guess, education of legislators to explain why the bill is necessary.
I think we are concerned that we do not want to create a situation where someone who is doing normal behavior, like applying for a permit, I'm going to give a fictitious example. We don't have fishing permits in the state of Hawaii, but for example, someone applying for a fishing permit, you wouldn't necessarily want to have them have to register as a lobbyist. So in part, I think what we would do is take this proposal to several different agencies and sort of ask how is your day-to-day interactions with the Patrick, we are getting some echoing in here. Seems like that's gotten better. Thank you. So I think part of putting this out there for the public to see and be able to go to agencies is in part understand like what the ramifications of this would be, and sort of be able to walk through that. We think it's a good stab. We've done a search of other states to try to find other examples, and they run very, very, very complex to maybe very simplistic, and we're trying to find a good balance.
Okay.
What we're trying to do here.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions from the commissioners? Any from the public? Okay, next, the purpose of the bill. Continue.
So item number 4, which is revising lines. Benita, do you mind doing a quick summary of this one? I think you might be able to do a better job than I could. This is the financial disclosure specific to the fiscal year reporting.
Sorry. Okay, so sorry, I didn't get a chance to review the specific ones that I drafted as an iteration. Essentially, we are trying to resync the gift disclosures so that it matches fiscal year because historically it was I think the timing was off, and I think it would make more sense to sync up with July 1 to June 30th fiscal year. The report would then be submitted 1 month thereafter at the end of July. This would match up with agencies' fiscal processes and closing out their budget and travel expenditures and whatnot. So it would make just generally more of a housekeeping logic in terms of for filers. I think that was the main impact, right?
That is it, yeah.
Okay, any questions from the commissioners? We still have to do all the financial disclosures, right? So.
If disclosures here, yeah.
Yeah, well, anyway, when I got on this job, my wife says, you mean tell me we gotta tell everybody how much you have? What is that?
I think we're still trying to audio issues now. We're getting.
Oh, I get music too, my commentary. Any questions from the commissioners? Any comments from the public or questions? Okay, last bill.
This concerns a bill that was passed last year regarding legislators' disclosure of financial connections to lobbyists. We had noted that if there is a entity in between the lobbyist and the legislator, we may only see general income. We don't necessarily get to see that income coming from a lobbyist. We had also proposed that money being received from a lobbying organization would also be reported. And there was some concern about that at the last second, and that language dropped. So this is an attempt to go revise the bill that was passed last year, is now law, to include lobbying organization. So for example, if somebody worked for a large law firm and is a legislator, and they represent a lobbying organization or a lobbyist, and they received over $5,000, they'd have to indicate that they are representing that organization or that lobbyist. That's what's being proposed here. We've inserted the language known or reasonably should have known, just to capture a situation where maybe the law firm is so large that they are unaware that maybe they represent on a national level a lobbying organization, to try to give a little bit more flexibility. I think that addresses the concerns that we heard from last year.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions from the commissioners? Commissioner Tobias, can you hear us now? You can? Say something.
She is. We're not hearing her.
Okay. We can't hear you.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay.
All right.
Yay.
Okay.
I'm on
There we go.
my phone, but I'm getting an echo back.
Oh, that's okay. An echo is better than nothing. Thank you. I'm glad you're on board.
Thank you. And I had several questions, but I think they've already been answered.
Okay, chime in anytime, but I'm glad we can hear you now. Any questions or comments by the public? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to support the proposed bills in its substantive form as presented by Executive Director. But let me make a comment. I want to compliment the staff for doing this, and it's all in part as, again, our mantra of being proactive, not only in regards to training, but also enforcement. And we use the word proactive as opposed to reactive, so that we go out and anticipate what may be a problem and tackle it before it becomes a problem. So again, I congratulate the staff for doing this. I will entertain that motion that we support the proposed bills as presented in its substantive form by the Executive Director.
So moved.
Move. Who moved?
Tobias.
Oh,
Tobias.
moved by Commissioner Tobias, seconded by Commissioner Hong. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, roll call.
Starting with Commissioner Tobias,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Yeah, what eye's enough?
literally often. Commissioner Thielen,
Aye.
Chair.
And chair votes aye, no opposition, the motion is carried. Thank you very much to Robert and staff. Next, I believe it's item number six.
So Commissioner, this has been a standing item on our agenda. The commission had asked, in light of the controversy at the U.S. Supreme Court and ethics regarding reporting of gifts, acceptance of gifts, travel, generally again, ethical oversight. We have initiated a conversation with the state judiciary, try to better understand their processes, and to see if there are any areas that could use some review and more tightening. And they have agreed to have that conversation with me still forthcoming. Meantime, we did interact with a national nonprofit legal center and asked for their assistance in reviewing if there are any other models or examples on a national level. That is attached to this. Just very quickly in summary, they took a look at a smaller subset of states, but did find several states that had applied both a ethics standard, sort of the general government ethics standard, much like what we do, and in addition to a code of judicial conduct. So this may be, again, I don't think this is anything anyone is recommending here in Hawaii, not to the stage at least, until we better understand what the problems are. But I think it's just maybe helpful to understand what some of the different options are. And again, useful research, and I want to recognize and thank contributors here, and it hopefully will help guide us.
This is pretty informational background. Actually, I was the one who brought up this issue. And it's because some of my the public has asked about the oversight of the judiciary in light of what's happening in our United States Supreme Court. I think a lot of you know that the United States Supreme Court has adopted a code of ethics, but even then they come under criticism with like self-governing or self-monitoring. And I'm just glad that our judicial family is receptive to our exploring, I guess, an oversight for the judiciary. So stay tuned. We will be having a meeting with them and see if we can maybe resolve this concern. Any questions by the commissioners? Any by the public? Okay, next.
Item number 7 is a proposed meeting calendar for 2024, and it is attachment number 1. Commissioners, I guess the question would be is whether we want to continue having meetings on the 3rd Wednesday of every month. And if so, you have there as an attachment what that calendar would look like, as well as the red dot indicates when the sunshine folder will also be completed and put out for public review.
Wednesdays anywhere. Yes, hey, hi, Harry.
Oh, wait. Well, I have had grave difficulties here, technical difficulties in Seattle, so I'm joining you late, but I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, did you just get on board?
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh,
Just got
okay.
on board.
All right. Welcome aboard from Seattle. I
Thank you.
I hope the weather's good over there.
Oh, man.
All right.
It's not Hawaii weather, I'll tell you that. Yeah.
No.
I know. When I was in Seattle, I was wondering if the sun ever shined on Seattle. But welcome.
Well, I typically overcast, but I apologize for the delay. I was having all kinds of technical problems here to get on. So, but anyway.
No, I'm glad that you could join us. And so anyway, welcome back.
Yeah.
Again, in regards to the meetings scheduled Wednesday, the 3rd Wednesday of every month at 9 o'clock at the Ethics Commission office here on the 9th floor. Do you need a motion for that? If there are any objections, we just continue.
No, I don't think we need a motion for that. We will
Okay, unless there are any objections by the commissioners, we'll just stick with the regular schedule of the third Wednesday of every month to have our meetings. And it'll be at 9 o'clock at the office of the State Ethics Commission on the 9th floor of what's this building?
American Savings Bank.
American Savings Building. Any objection by the commissioners? Okay, we'll
No
continue on.
objection.
All right, we'll continue on. All right, item number, sorry. Item number 3, the never ending, hopefully it will soon be ending, Akana case.
So this is item number 8, and as normal, there is no update on this that we have at this time.
What is, being a trial lawyer, what's the hang up? It's been, how long have I been? Yeah, how long have I been here now? I remember when I first got on board, that was the first case out of 3 cases in the whole history of the Ethics Commission. And it's still on appeal?
It is still an appeal before the Intermediate Court of Appeals.
Why is it taking so long? Do you know? If you know.
We do not.
Okay, stay tuned. Hopefully before my tenure is over, we'll get this resolved. Anything else?
As I recall, on occasion, we haven't
Go ahead, Eric.
inquired, as I recall, we have at least once inquired about the case through their clerk's office or through the administrative system. And we were simply given that answer that it's pending. But you're right. I mean, it's just been an extraordinary length of time. Maybe another call might force something loose. Who knows?
Things like this didn't happen when you were a judge, right? You don't have to. You don't have to. Answer,
I know.
you don't have to answer that question. It's a rhetorical question.
I was under orders to get cases done within 6 months. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. I believe that's all on the agenda. Any Commissioner, anything that you want to bring up in the sunshine? Anything from the public? Staff? If not, I'll entertain a motion that we adjourn. Don't everybody speak up at once.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Hong.
Second.
Second by Commissioner McCarthy. Okay, any discussion? Roll call?
Starting with Vice Chair McCarthy.
Aye.
Commissioner Tobias.
Aye.
Commissioner Hong.
Aye.
I think Commissioner Gralty would have said that with enthusiasm and gusto. Commissioner Thielen.
Aye.
Chair.
And chair votes aye, no objections. The meeting will be adjourned. The time I have is 9:44. 9:44. Meeting is adjourned. We'll take a 10 minutes. Is that okay? Or we start at 10, right? What?
I think we just adjourn and then keep it down for a second.
Okay,